Welcome in, guys. We've got another video today reacting to Mark Goldbridge. This is the end for Manchester City.
Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. The end for Manchester City is certainly in sight, but what will that end be? Only yesterday a report came out saying that the 115 will be heard in November, and
I swear to God, the November thing, we've known that for about 6 months, no? I swear we've known that for 6 months, man. What's he talking about? It come out yesterday. Where is he? What?
concluded this court case by the end of next season. Now, we did a video yesterday on what's going on in the transfer window, and I suppose in relation to Manchester City...
Sorry, man. I just know this is going to be loads of waffle, guys. I just know it's going to be waffle. That's why I'm laughing.
There has been rumours for a while now that certain players may not be as open to joining Man City this summer as they were in the past because of this looming court case. Well, whatever's...
I've literally not heard one journalist say that. Guys, honestly, if I'm living under a rock, let me know, yeah? I've not heard one journalist or anyone say that's the case. And it would be very easy for City to deal with this. If you sign a player and the player has concerns, or the agent has concerns, write something into the contract. If we get relegated, you can leave for, I don't know, 25% of the cost that we paid for you. So if you buy a player for 100 mil, yeah, obviously a very good player. If we get relegated, you can go for 25. Because City are obviously very confident that they're not going to get found guilty anyway. So City will be happy to sign that. Because by City's opinion, they have indisputable evidence.
Is going to happen. The reality is this is going to be a huge season for Manchester City. In fact, one of the most predictable things is probably that they will win the league because they are so much better than everybody else. But at the end of next season, will they be celebrating a 7th Premier League title in 8 years and a 5th one in the row? Would be 5 in a row, would it? I think it would be 5 in a row. Or will they be celebrating relegation?
Well, I don't think we're going to be celebrating relegation. If we get relegated, I doubt we're going to be celebrating, right?
Down to God knows what level of football because they lose this court case. And I think that is something that looms large for Manchester City. Now, I'm sure they'll be quite happy in some sense that there'll be a line drawn over it and it will be the end. And there is always the prospect that they will get found not guilty with no case to answer. But it is shaped.
Wow! Some actual fair comment there for Mr. Goldbridge. Jesus, guys! Maybe we've turned over a new leaf. Maybe we will be found not guilty. Crazy, eh? Mad.
Keeping up to be a massive season. And if you thought last season was big with VAR, time added on, injury crises, remember this case is going to hit in November, only 3 months into the new season, and will then transcend the second half of the season as we await judgment, which I'm sure will probably come out at the end of the season. So
yeah, I agree with that. I have to be fair here. I agree with that 100%. I do think that the judgment will probably come out towards the end of the season. And I think they will, whatever it is, unless, if it's not guilty, why, there's no reason really to delay it till the end of the season. I think if it's a guilty verdict, and it's like a serious one, I think they'll wait. I think they'll wait till the end of the season and then do it. Because it'll just cause too much chaos. It'll cause so much chaos. So... yeah, that's my take on that.
Massive season for Manchester City. Many people fear, well, many people hope, many people think that Manchester City will be found guilty, that the case that the Premier League has...
Can I ask you a question? Genuine question. If you're an opposition fan, why would you hope that we're guilty? Why would you hope that we're guilty? You can think that we're guilty, and if we get found guilty, you can be like, I knew they were guilty. But why would you hope a club would be guilty of something like that? I find that very strange. I do. I find it doesn't really make sense to me. Why would you want to? Surely you would want to know that you lost legitimately, or are you too small-minded to accept that? And you're one of these people who are like, no, we did everything we could, and the only reason we lost is because of cheating. Like, I find that very strange that you would hope that another football club has cheated or whatever. I do find that strange. It's got to be said.
As is obviously very strong, that they've never wavered or backed down or offered any sort of, fine or, settlement out of court. It's always been about this court case and getting on with it. So the Premier League will feel they have a strong case. Manchester City obviously have the funds to.
Well, they've got to have a strong case. You can't bring charges like this and not have a strong case. Now, does that mean we're guilty? Does that mean we're innocent? It doesn't mean either. It means they've got a case. They've got a case for Manchester City to answer. That's how this works. They present their side and think, we think you've done this, 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 and this. And City will have to respond and go, no, we've not. And this is our side of the story. So they've got to have a strong case. It'd be bad. Remember, there's no winners here. Yeah? If City win the case, so there are winners. City win the case, that asks serious questions about the Premier League, guys. And even you guys who are desperate for City to be guilty for some weird reason, even then you have to look at the Premier League and go, what's going on here? You've took years and years to build this case, and then you've lost. You brought the league into disrepute. You've accused a club of doing something that they've not done because they've been found not guilty. Big answers for the Premier League to big questions for the Premier League to answer there for me. So, and obviously if City get found guilty, then we don't have to speak about that. That's horrific.
To throw absolutely everything at it. We've seen their all-star litigation team to fight against this. How's it going to go? How will it be played out? Public reporting on it, of course. This is a court case, so I don't think it will be a closed court. I think that, we'll probably be getting daily updates on what the evidence is.
No, we're not going to get daily updates. We might get leaks, but it's not going to be like the post office inquiry where it's streamed on YouTube. As much as I'd love to see it, yeah? As much as I'd love to see that, it gives us a lot to speak about. I very much doubt that you're going to be getting daily news. You will get leaks here or there, 100%. But, I mean, if you look at the case with City now with the Premier League, I mean, this is kind of obvious. City have just sued the Premier League. Have you heard anything about it since the initial leak? No. So why do we think it's going to be all of a sudden different when it happens a second time around, albeit in a slightly different fashion? Not going to happen, man.
Is if that's how it's going to plan out. So we're in for a really big season, and specifically I think all the way through this I can't see a scenario where Man City aren't in a title race with their laundry being played out, or dirty laundry maybe, shown to the rest of the world, the rest of the footballing world. So look, really, really interesting. And I think as well, just going back to the transfer situation there, if you're a Man City player or a prospective Man City player and you're watching this, then, I don't think you're massively bothered if you're Erling Haaland or Kevin De Bruyne, because if Man City did shit hit the fan and they get relegated or whatever, there's not going to be a shortage of clubs coming in like vultures to take your good players. But if you're a player who's about to sign this summer, you'd have to be bearing it in mind.
No, I don't think you would. I think you just get something in the contract. Remember, City are saying they have irrefutable evidence. Irrefutable. The wording is strong, and that's why a lot of City fans are backing the club. Yeah, not only because obviously the City fans want to back the club, it's because the club have told them they have irrefutable evidence. What does irrefutable mean? You want to tell you what it means? Irrefutable. Impossible to deny or disprove. So City are clearly confident they're going to get not guilty here. Clearly confident. So all you have to do is, if a player comes to you and says, I don't know if I want to sign for you, because Goldbridge said you might get relegated, I don't want to be playing Championship. Oh, not a problem. If we get relegated, if we get found guilty, you can go at half the price. And if you're as good as you are, you spend 50 mil, someone's going to buy you for 25, right? No problem. That would be very, very easy to write into the contract.
You'd certainly have to be putting it in your contract, and I wonder if any players have got it in
proof that I don't watch the video before I do the reactions, by the way,
in their contract, that if Man City get relegated, they're allowed to go for...
Yo, what the fuck, man? People always say, do you watch the video before I do the reaction? I say, no, I always just watch it as I do the reaction, like it's all authentic and that, so proof.
Next to nothing, because... I don't think it will prevent Man City signing players this summer like a Danny Olmo or something, because I think the contracts that those players would sign would certainly have some sort of release clause in it. But look, exactly. We've been waiting this for a long time. There isn't that much long to go now. There can always be twists and turns, but what we're looking at here is something really big, and we're looking at a defined story. We're looking at an outcome, and I think that's something that we haven't had. It's been going on for years and years.
And don't get me wrong, listen, I know Mark hates City, right? You say he don't care about City. He obviously does, right? He obviously does. And he obviously wants us to be found guilty. And I think that is disappointing. I think that why fans want another club to be found guilty is a bit strange, in my opinion. But one thing that I think everyone can agree on is that this has gone on for too long and we all want an outcome. We all agree on that. We all agree. Now, you might want City to be found guilty, and City fans will want us to be found not guilty, of course. But we all want the outcome. When the outcome comes, one side is going to be unhappy. Yeah, either the City fans, me, if we get found guilty and we get relegated, or you're going to be unhappy, yeah, if City get found not guilty because you're not going to believe it's true, you're going to think that we paid them off or something. But we all agree that it needs to be gone. It needs to hurry up, man. It's gone on far too long.
Within that time, City have won a treble. Within that time, Man City are winning multiple Premier League titles, and we need to get to a point where this is resolved. And of course, my stance has always been that there are a lot of charges, they are charged, and therefore the Premier League clearly think Man City have done something wrong. And I think that's always been the stance of a lot of people from the outside looking in. Now, Manchester City can find a way out of it, technically. The court of law may not find them guilty, but I think in the court of public opinion, they'll never.
The court of public opinion, yeah. No one's. A lot of people think they're going to be guilty regardless, but realistically, the court of public opinion doesn't really matter to Manchester City. The revenues are up. People will say it's fake, but Kellogg's are not faking the sponsorship, right? The revenues are up. They're increasing stadium capacity. They're winning. They've got the best manager in the world. They've got the best players in the world. Yeah, it's not nice to have people think this, but ultimately, it doesn't really matter.
Be not guilty because that's the way it is. If you look at the recent, and there's no comparison with this, but if you look at Mason Greenwood, who's just signed for Marseille, those allegations, which were publicly shared, we all saw it, but it never hit a court case, and they're together with a child, and yet Mason Greenwood in the court of public opinion with some people will always be guilty, and you're not welcome at our club. So that's a very
strange way to go, to be honest with you. Listen, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up there, man. I'm on a minute, so I've got to dip, guys. But yeah, there you go. Little Goldbridge reaction for you. Not sure why he spoke about that at the end. Bit weird. Smash a like, subscribe, let us know in the comments down below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.